people testing their limits in the middle of the Saharan desert. No, it's not the script for the next survivor. It's a once-in-a-lifetime educational experience organized by Impossible to Possible, a group that uses adventure to grow the next generation of leaders. The expedition started Thursday in Tunisia and ends in Gaves, a distance of 250 kilometers, and backstory will follow the entire journey. Well, one of the adventure seekers behind Impossible to Possible is Bob Cox. Our Michael Holmes interviewed Bob a couple of weeks ago from Los Angeles before the journey to Tunisia.
In general, Impossible to Possible, we want to educate, inspire, and empower young people. And how do we want to do that? We want to use adventure as our platform. And when I mean adventure, extreme adventures. Last year, we took a group of young people up to the Arctic, where we crossed Baffin Island. And coming up in mid-April, we will take a group of young people and cross the country of Tunisia.
What are the challenges of doing things like this? I imagine each one is different in its challenges. But let's start off with the next one. What sort of things do you have to prepare for? I imagine the list is long.
It's very long. Ray and I worked a lot of hours setting this up, but we have a lot of help as well. We have a lot of volunteers, probably a network of 20 to 30 volunteers that help us, and that includes the education program. So for us, getting ready for this, everything from logistics on the ground in Tunisia, to the education programs, to organizing the schools, to getting the youth ambassadors, selecting the youth ambassadors, getting these youth ambassadors ready for this journey in their training programs.
What changes have you seen in kids who've done these adventures?
Our youth ambassadors that went with us to Baffin, they came back and each one of them said it truly changed their life. When we got back, we had one of our youth ambassadors take a run across the state of Ohio, and she did that for an organization, and she felt inspired to do so.
Have you ever been out there and thought, this is too hard, or this is getting really tough? Or have the kids, Bob.
Yes, yes, the kids have. In fact, we were finishing Baffin Island, so it was day, I believe, 9 or 10, crossing Baffin Island up in the Arctic, and one of the youth ambassadors came up to me and she said, on day 2, I really didn't think I was going to make it. And she said she had looked for a place to sprain her ankle, and she soon realized there wasn't going to be any rangers that come and get her.
Yeah.
And she pushed through and persevered, and in the end, she was thrilled that she did it.
And with Tunisia, what's the route you're going on?
We're starting in Tozer, and we're heading through to Gaves along the Mediterranean.
How tough is it going to be out there? I mean, it's a desert.
It's going to be extremely tough. The running, it's going to be hot. A lot of these people are coming from cold weather climates where it's been below zero, and they're going to be going to a place that's 80, 85, potentially 90 degrees with zero humidity. So it's going to be very tough, and the running through the sands and through the dunes is going to be very difficult.
Is there a specific ecological, environmental message coming from for this particular trip as opposed to others, or is it it's all fairly static?
The Siberia expedition and Tunisia, it's water specifically. And what we're narrowing in on is the clean water crisis in Africa. So we've challenged the students that are participating, these 8,500 students, to raise funds for 2 clean water projects, one in Kenya and one in Uganda.
Well, training for the 2-stage H2O initiative was an incredible trial. Reza Hab, Bob's partner in Impossible to Possible, sent backstory his blog. Take a look.
Training for both expeditions in Impossible to Possible's H2O initiative have been grueling, to say the least. We started out in Siberia just a month ago, running the length of Lake Baikal, unsupported, 50 to 60 kilometers per day, dragging all of our supplies behind us. running Tunisia, where 4 Impossible to Possible youth ambassadors in about a week and a half's time from now will be running across the hot Saharan Tunisian desert. About 250 kilometers plus over 8 days. We have a couple of surprise stages in there for them. We know they've been preparing a tremendous amount. They've been running like crazy, as some of the terrain that you've seen here today in Quebec. We have youth ambassadors from both BC, British Columbia and Western Canada, and of course the United States. So they're training over a varied terrain. They're training in different climate zones. So it's going to be really interesting to see how all of this training, these miles they've put in, not only the miles they've been running, but the hours spent in the gym, the emphasis on proper nutrition and hydration, how it all plays out. It's going to be very exciting, and not only exciting for us, but for the thousands and thousands of students that will track every footstep these 4 youth ambassadors take in the Sahara. After all, they'll be sharing their experiences with all of you, and of course, with 8,500 plus students around the world. It's going to be really exciting. Well, that's it for now.
Incredible stuff. I just remembered I actually interviewed Ray Zahab and Hollywood star Matt Damon last year for another incredible feat by Ray. We'll stay with Backstory for more on Impossible to Possible's run across Tunisia for the next week and a half, I should say. We'll be getting frequent video reports from the teams as they work their way across the desert. Well, that does it for today's show. Hope you've enjoyed it. The Backstory team will be back next week, same time, same place. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye for now.